Hey guys, JB here. Welcome to the channel or the community. As I always say, I hope things are going great for you. I'm finally got the lake house set up enough to get things done. I'll show you the kind of the desk that I'm using. I got a card table set up in front of the window with a great view. With the MacBook, can get my recordings done for my daily show and our training and coaching that we do. I'm using a Tula microphone and it's working out really good. But I got a question for you that I want to ask the community. We're 20,000 plus strong and growing here on YouTube. Doing it the wrong way, okay? Supposedly you just take a niche and you stay with that niche, and that's obviously not what I'm doing. I'm showing the lake house. We're doing some tech reviews, just a little bit of everything. But we're having fun, and we've got a pretty good core group of people here. The question I want to ask you is this. So as you know, Morning Coach is my baby. I mean, that's what I named this channel years ago. I have been the Morning Coach since 2005. My company, I founded MorningCoach.com, and I started doing a podcast. Back then, in late 2005, 2006, the podcast took off. And back in 2006, 2007, it was literally top 25 on iTunes. And obviously, I was a big fish in a very small pond. Not everybody even knew what podcasting was then. But between 2005 and 2009, really about 2006, 2007 to 2009, my podcast was like top 25 and always number one or number two, right in that two category of self-help. And it was really a lot of fun. And in 2009, I had to go paid. I mean, we had 40,000 listeners a day, but I wasn't really making any money. And so I went paid subscription. We had 10,000 people on a website. I actually think I had one of the first landing pages on the internet and one of the first membership sites on the internet. But luckily, we had 1,321 people come with me in a paid subscription. And I started doing Mondays for free. And then I would do obviously every day for my group of people. And we're now at like 4,644 episodes. I mean, that's how long I've been doing it and built systems and wrote books and structures around it. It's been a lot of fun. Well, in January of this year, I got away from the podcast. Again, this is a little confusing because what I sell is coaching and audio coaching. That's my primary business model. But I got away from doing the Monday podcast. And what I decided to do was I went against my philosophy. I used to believe that, hey, if you're at least giving one person energy, it was worth it. Back when I started, the first 10 or 20 episodes back in 2005, 2006, nobody listened to it. But then somebody would start listening. I'd say, hey, I'd run around and high five my wife and say, hey, somebody's actually listening to the podcast. Well, I've decided to bring that back, and I'm going to do it in the capacity of Motivational Mondays, and it's going to be a podcast, and I actually did a podcast. I'll put the link down below that I'm coming back, and 400 people downloaded right away, so it was great. We've got a good group on that original podcast that used to be top 25 in the world. It's still out there with some old episodes, but now I'm going to kind of bring some life to that because I think the world needs it. The world needs some motivation. They need some positivity. People are, struggling out there, and there is a better way to live. There really is. And it's what I've taught for years. And it's what I live as I sit here on the lake house. And there are different ways to do things. I've always broken away from the system instead of being into the system. And I want to bring that energy and continue to bring that energy as I do to my coaching clients. So the question is, this is a question. Since I'm going to be doing Motivational Mondays as a podcast over at the Morning Coach podcast show, would that be something that you would be interested in here on YouTube? If I would just, obviously right now I don't have a studio. I'm here at the lake house. We're going to tear this place down. And then I'll have a studio here. I'm going to go back to Florida and I'll be in the studio later. So it's not going to be, clean and nice as it would be. But I've always thought that YouTube's not a good talking head thing. My shows are 15 minutes. But since I'm going to be doing it for Mondays anyways, what I'm thinking about doing is a Motivational Mondays here and putting it up on YouTube as well as the podcast. Again, I wanted to ask you that directly if you would be interested in that. Is that some kind of content that you would actually want to watch? Because the last thing I want to do is start putting content up and then nobody likes it, nobody views it. It's going to hurt the other content, right? That's what happens. So basically, what I'll be talking about is some of those different ways to live, some good energy, and just a way for people to get their week started right. In fact, I have a whole compass, and a lot of you have downloaded my free planner over at Morning Coach, so you know my topics. We'll just be doing a weekly show to get people's week started right. as a podcast. I will tell you, audio is much easier than video for me. That's why I've done 4,600 episodes, because I can record. I don't have to set up the cameras. I don't have to do all this. But it is something that I wanted to ask you because it would give us another day of content here on YouTube. And it may be something that you would want to hear. So if you could, do me a favor, leave me a comment and let me know. Is this something that you would be interested in? Motivational Mondays here on YouTube. Basically, I could set up the camera and we could do some good energy, talk about current events and things that are going on, and I could produce that content since I'm going to be doing it 52 weeks of the year anyways for the podcast. So wanted to ask you what you think. Is that something that you would be interested in? And I really appreciate your opinion. As I always say, it's a community. And you may not believe that, I read all the comments and I listen to everybody. I believe in authenticity and I believe in connecting with people. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. I'm doing it because I want to connect and have some fun. If it's content that you don't want, then we won't do it. I think the best thing to probably do is just experiment and put it up. But I'd like to hear from you first. If I get enough people that say, yeah, go ahead and do it, JB, great, I'll do it. If not, I'll just do it as a podcast and you can get that link below. All right? Got some videos coming up next week. We've got some cool tech coming in. I've got some updates on some things that are happening in the world. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you don't mind hitting that like button, it does help us. And we'll keep the energy positive because that's what it's about. The world needs energy right now. And it needs some good energy. So we'll keep putting it out there. All right. Thanks for watching to the end. We will see you in the next video.